I still feel 25 most of the time. Little George Strait for you there. Maybe one day I'll sing all the songs. But anyway, hope all is fantastic. Welcome. Howdy. Heart of Christ Ministry. I'm Reverend Shaun Robert Grant. Happy to have you here. Happy to always be here. Great show as always. We got prepared for you. We're talking about the light and how to bring light to the lives of everybody you come into contact with, how to bring light, how to access the light. And guess what? This light is within yourself, right? It's within you. Okay. Now, as always, before we get into that, a few things here for business. If you have any questions, any feedback, any comments, please write to us. Whenever you get the opportunity, please send us a message, whatever it is. We love to hear from you. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. ShaunG04@gmail.com. And another thing, if you feel like you benefit from this message today, or you've benefited from these messages in the past, by all means, feel free to donate, sow a seed into the ministry. It helps us to continually grow and expand into being the very best that we can be for you, right? So that's a very important opportunity to take with you. If you do decide to give, Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com. ZELLE is the same as PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com. And I have a little gift for you in exchange for your seed. And I started back doing this, and I'm very happy that I did. If you give a seed of any choice, right, of any size, not of any choice, you will receive the Endless Prosperity Pack. Five videos that document how to move from zero to prosperity in a short period of time. I don't know how long, but it's a definite short period of time, because what it does is it transforms your consciousness from a prosperity standpoint. And guess what? Whether you give $1, whether you give $5, whether you give 5,000, however much it is, any amount, you will receive the Endless Prosperity Pack. I will send that over to you through email, through text, whatever you prefer, but that is yours with any size gift. And we're going to rehash the gifts at the end of the message, but let's get into the message, guys. All right. We got Heart of Christ Ministry 2022. Okay. The world needs your divine light to shine right now. Okay. You remember as kids, even as adults, we used to sing that song. What was it? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. You know how it goes, right? And so I can remember singing that song, and I'm like, what are they talking about the light? I wonder what it means. What are they discussing when it comes down to the light? And being the minister that I am today, I dove into it seeking divine wisdom, knowledge, insight, and understanding and awareness on the topic alone. And I'm telling you, today we're going to go through it, and it is going to be powerful. So take notes. There'll be a recording on this for YouTube and on Facebook as well, if you need to go back and watch it, because I'm sure there's going to be some tidbits that you want to take with you into your own life. And without further ado, let's just get into it. Number one, what is the light? And you might hear me say sometimes the divine light, because I just love putting divine behind things. But what is the light? I'm going to tell you right now. The light is the very essence, right? The essence, the nature, the substance that is God, that is divine, that is benevolent, that operates itself in every single atom, time, space, everything. It's in everything. In some things, it's more illuminated, right? In other things, it's a bit darkened and dampened, right? So that is what the light is. And like I said, I'll call it the light of God, the divine light, the essence of God and stuff like that. But the reason why it's so important for us to know what this is because only when we embrace the light, when we amplify the light, when we're empowered by the light within us, can we find ourselves in a position to live the very best life that we possibly can. Only, right, when we embrace the light in its entirety. And let me tell you something. If you're struggling in life and you're trying to figure out how to get over the hump and how to make things happen and how to be the very best that you can, and I mean this sincerely from the heart, there's a chance that you hadn't accessed the light within you fully to be able to do that, right? Because when we access the light, which I jumped the gun because that's number 2, but when we access the light, what we find is that things that were once difficult all of a sudden now become easy. Things that were once challenging, all of a sudden we can move through them with grace. And grace is the key point, because grace is God, effortless, easeful movement of God, right? So make a note of that. If there is any area in your life that is hard, whether it's your relationships, your health, your money, your job, your whatever it is, understand, once you access the light, everything moves in an effortless capacity. And what is the number one, I guess, objective when accessing the light? Well, let's move to number 2, and we're going to share it with you. How to access the light, okay? The number one objective when it comes to accessing the light within is, first and foremost, surrender, right? Surrender. Let go. Release. Relinquish, right? Here's the thing. In my own experience, it wasn't until I stopped and said, dang it, God in me, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. And it says, surrender to the light within. Because you know what the light does? The light is kind of like autopilot in a sense, not that we don't have to do anything, but we basically take the controls, and we give it over to spirit. We give it to the light. We give it to the divine. And what happens is that simple act of giving over the controls amplifies, 1, the awareness of everything that needs to be known, right? 2, it not only just gives us that awareness, but it makes us feel invigorated. It gives us this newfound energy, which is sometimes called light force or life force, God force energy, right? But once we surrender, you ever seen like these movies or these television shows, or even in your own life, like case in point, you're in a tug of war, right? You're in a tug of war, and each group is pulling against the other. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle. You're just going until that final bell rings. And let's just say everybody let's go, or one side let's go and the other side just woof, right? All of a sudden there's a relief. There's a sense of relief there, right? This is what happens in life when we decide to surrender to the divine light within us, right? What happens? There's no more of a tug. There's no more of a pull. There's no more of a control. There's no more of, I need to do it this way. This needs to be done that way. This has to be done like this or done like that, right? It's all, I'm giving it up to the highest, most prevalent, benevolent, available power. And that is that light within myself, right? It's that light within myself. And so by me taking that simple act of accessing the light by surrendering, I open myself to the entirety, to the highest potential and expression of divine light within myself, all from surrendering. Surrendering has got a bad rap to where it's been sort of taught to be a sense of weakness, but in actuality, it's far from it. Surrender, vulnerability is one of the most powerful things that you can do and have to access the light of God within you. Because here's the thing you got to understand. The divine is not forceful. The divine is not going to force you to do anything. It's not going to like slap you across the face and the head to get you to move in certain positions. It's not going to do that, right? It's not. There's just no way that it's going to put itself in a position for you to have to be coerced or forced into doing something. It wants you to stop, surrender, and be still and allow it to work, right? And so when we do that, we take that time. The greatest analogy I'll share with you. From that point on, it is like walking into the darkest room you could ever possibly be in. And then you flip on the light. You flip on the light. And guess what? What comes when the light is flipped on? Vision, right? Knowledge of what is going on around you. Understanding, right? Truth. All these amazing things that are unfolding are what come to the are basically the things that come to the forefront when we access the light. Trust. Surrender is how you access the light. Surrender, let go, the light comes on, you see exactly what you need to see. No question about it. Number 3, how do we spread the light? Okay, how do we spread the light? So this is relatively easy because what I'm doing right now is spreading the light. Before this video, you may have thought nothing about the light, but all of a sudden I'm enlightening you about the light, right? So I'm actually spreading the light. Is my laundry always on cue? I'm actually spreading the light by enlightening you, by giving you a sense of awareness about it, right? And so the fact of the matter is, this is my creative expression. This is my highest expression of divine light, right? But yours may be different. Yours may simply be something as simple as cooking dinner for your family. It may be getting off early enough to go pick up your kids. It may be taking a brunt of the work from your coworkers. There's an infinite number of ways of how the light is expressed. And it's important because when you spread the light, your own light expands. And when your own light expands, you become a magnetic force, a magnetic life force to any and all things that are in complete congruence, complete resonance, and complete vibrational harmony to the light within yourself. You see, the beauty of it all is the light is magnetized by the light, right? The light is magnetized by the light. Okay. And the reason why that is the way that it is because we live in a universe that is governed by a law called the law of attraction, and like attracts like. The fundamental nature, the fundamental vibration of a thing is always going to magnetize to itself a thing in like vibration. So imagine going through your life where all you experience is light, which is what I'm experiencing now, right? And all you got to do, cultivate, embrace, and spread the light, right? And what's happening is when you commit to it, you find the divine gives you all types of different ways to spread the light. And it's one of the most beautiful processes around because all you got to do is commit to it, right? Commit to realizing what the light is, to accessing the light, right? Because it's all within you. And then you spread the light. And then you realize you're manifesting everything of a light nature. Pretty simple. Well, not the sexiest of messages, but guess what? It pays dividends way more than anything you could ever imagine, because the problem has always been we focused on outside stuff. We focus on stuff that's lesser than the light, right? And then we wonder why we hit walls, right? Because we've all been there, right? You think, okay, I got to, for myself even, I'm going to control this. I'm going to take this by the hand. I'm going to take massive action, and I'm going to rise up, and this is going to work. And then all of a sudden, everything's going fine, and then I hit a brick wall, right? Why? Because instead of surrendering and turning it over and letting the light do what it's got to do, I think I know better, right? And then I wind up sabotaging the process, right? I have some success, but never the sustainable success and fulfillment that I choose to have, right? And that's why the light is here always for you and for me. For you and for me and the entire human race, there are people dying. Yeah, you can't enough. Michael Jackson. I got to warm my voice up before I start singing at that high pitch. He was truly wonderful at spreading the light. He used his music, he used his creativity, he used his art, right, to spread the light. And it impacted, still impacts, and will continue to impact so many individuals around the world. And that's a powerful place to be in. And that's an example that it doesn't just stop at our families. It doesn't just stop with our own personal matters, our bank accounts, our relationships. You can spread the light to any and everyone out there. Social media gives you the option now. Somebody halfway around the world could be accepting the light that you are spreading, right? And it's just with the quick flip of the switch of the computer, open the laptop, bada bing, bada boom. You're spreading light to someone in Tunisia, someone in Australia, whatever it may be. But the light is everywhere, and it's within us, and it's possible to amplify it to the highest divine potential possible to become the highest divine expression of that light. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. That wraps up the message. As we said before here, if you have any questions, any feedback, any comments, please write to us, ShaunG04@gmail.com. Okay, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you found this message beneficial, please watch it as many times as you like, but also look into donating a seed to the ministry to help with anything. I mean, you may just feel nice and you want to just decide to give to us because you feel like it's the generous thing to do. And guess what? We appreciate that here at Heart of Christ Ministry. So VENMO, Heart of Christ Ministry. I think it's at Heart of Christ Ministry. PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com. And then we got ZELLE. ZELLE is not listed, but it's the same as PayPal. ShaunG04@gmail.com. And when you decide to give that, a seed of any choice, 50 cents, still money, right? $1, $10,000, $100,000. I mean, if you want to give me $100,000, I'm open to it. Okay. When you decide to give, you're going to get the Endless Prosperity Pack, which is 5 videos to take you from zero to prosperity consciousness in a short period of time. Like, it's definitely worth it. It'll definitely teach you if you have any hiccups in your own life around the concept of money and different things. And, that's something that we've mastered here at Heart of Christ Ministry. So I'm offering you that with the size of any seed that you decide to sow. Okay. And with that being said, that about wraps up our message. And so I'm just going to leave you with this. Let your light shine. Let your light shine as bright as you can. And the way you do that is you do what you love. You do what uplifts you. You uplift other people. You take every chance possible to let that essence of God illuminate everybody you come into contact with, whether it's online, whether it's in real life, and you don't look back. And you know what? It makes all the difference in the world. With that being said, we love you guys. We appreciate you for joining us. Another great message in the books. We are out of here. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Every dream begins with a vision that sees everything before anyone else ever can. A vision that ignites the endless power to make all your dreams come true. Your truth is in